Giacometti, and I think I mixed up two Giacomettis because they're with brothers. There was, I can't remember their first names. Alberto and, oh, we'll figure it out later. And then Max Beckman here. So Giacometti is a little after World War II. World War II. Beckman lived through it. I think Giacometti lived through it. Italian, though I'm not sure where he was. Anyway, so these are drawings again. And so what I threw this guy in here by accident, didn't realize until after I opened it up, that's a wood block, right? So what a wood block is, you take a piece of wood, you've carved into it. So everywhere he carved in is going to be white. And then all these dark marks are left over because he carved away at it. So then when you get done carving it out, then you roll it up with ink and you put it through a press and you get the transfer from the ink from the wood block onto the paper. So all the dark marks are the areas that are left high on the wood block. The white is what's been carved away. Now the wood blocks are great, and the German expressionists were really into wood blocks because they were counter to aesthetically pleasing art, which in the long run becomes aesthetically pleasing, but we can have a discussion about that later. So anyway, but what I love about wood marks is the graphic marks. All these marks up here. Look at what the mark talking the plane of the head is going there, the forehead. What happens up in here, how it curves around. How he describes the eye here. How he describes the nose, right? By marks, dark marks out there. That heavy crease there. The mouth, right? Underneath. And then even his jacket. I love these. There's so many more. If you Google German expressionists, woodblock portraits, you'll get tons of these. And some of these guys really let the marks rip. Now Giacometti over here, look at what's happening up in here. So soft and on. Now look at all the work that he's doing down in here describing the shirt of his subject, right? That is amazing, and that's so soft up in there. Right? So some of it is not necessarily about really getting into the facial features. Over here he did, Beckman does, right? But Giacometti, the eyes are the main focus, right? And so all these dark marks up in here, the dark marks down in here, frame this in a certain way. And if he went back in, even the earrings, the dark earrings, start to frame the face and the upper chest, right? Yeah, really beautiful drawing, isn't it? And look at what's happening up in here. I think you guys, once again, I really need to say, go just sit and look at these. Flip through them on your computer. Have a cup of tea and look at them and just get into what they're doing with the marks. All right? So there's Giacometti, Beckman. Let's go back to Beckman and let's go here. Now, that's a pen and ink drawing, right? So you can see it. It's not a woodcut, but it's a pen and ink drawing. And the kind of the qualities of the wood cut are coming through in here, but he has way more control and he can build up values by cross-hatching up in there, right? And now look at here. That eye in relationship to that eye. Now, I can't say that's conscious decision. All I can say is what it does. It makes this side of the face feel like a lot closer to us than that side. And yet we're talking about like not that much looking at him from the left, right? Because of the distance here. But anyway, that's interesting. And oh yeah, there's something about the Michelangelo statue of David, right? In Florence. The hands are way bigger than what they should be. Anyway, so these are liberties that you're allowed to take care of, right? To do. Now in the Giacometti, let's go down in here, right? So there we go. Now look, there's not a big difference from here to here. Graphite to ink. That's the only difference. But now mark making is kind of similar. And now Giacometti knows he can get softer grays in here. And Beckman might smudge a little bit with the ink, but I kind of doubt it. So up in here where the softer ones are, yeah, he's probably using less ink on the pen or whatnot, but he's also not pressing as hard. This is beautiful. I love this guy in here. In here through the eyes. This, the hair, how he describes the hair up in there, the ear over in there. Right? Take some time and look at these, really. Let's jump back to the Beckman. Go down in here to the Beckman small one. Let's see what happens if we make it large. Not that bad. And let's go up there. All right, there we go. Another Giacometti and another Beckman. Right? Big time difference. Charcoal, graphite here. Right? Look at the dark hair, 3/4 view. He leaves this open in here, which is nice. Bam, bam, and then picks it up in here with the crease in the upper eyebrow. Up in here, bam, across, a little bit of shadow here. The mouth, right up in here, maybe a little bit much in here. Like, what's going on? I feel like that wants to be tighter, but that's, once again, his decision. And the neck also, where that neck is. But look at what happens in here. So I think when we're looking at it, you notice this stuff, the main thing is to notice how it changes our point of view. Because if I look over in here, my point of view is more straight on. If I'm in here, then I'm at an angle. And then that neck's so thin in there, that's wild. I love it. Now, here's the Giacometti, right? And we could say scribble marks, right? But look at what's happening in there. I think it's like an incredible search in that drawing of where things fall. And he comes close, and I'm sure that this looks like the person he was drawing, right? So, let's go here with another Beckman. Right? Look at what happens. Here's the focus. And then, man, slams it in there, up in there, up in there. Really quick, you can see it how fast he's working through here. But I'm telling you, he is paying attention to relationships up in here. Okay? Love that face. Love it. In the last one we looked at, look at how he handled it up in here. Right? And now look at how he handles it there. Let's go into here, into these. Now, you could do these guys with India ink and charcoal. This is probably, oh, it looks like a wash, doesn't it? It might be oil paint, though. But it is very drawing-like, isn't it? So, I love what's happening up in here. Very loose, very loose, very loose. Now, let's focus in on the face again and see what happens. Look at what happens with that face when we zoom in here a little bit. And it's not pixelating yet, is it? Still okay. Yeah, still not pixelating. So you get the sense of like, okay, let's call this India ink. All right? So the ink getting sucked into the paper, absorbed into the paper come through, very thin wash. Right? Now he gets up in here and it starts going a little, layering it probably. Couple marks in there, probably with a charcoal pencil. Might be an ink pen. Right? Not sure. And then look at all these beautiful marks down in here, these heavy marks. So remember how I'm talking about, I talk about in my painting class. There's so many different ways to create contrast, right? Soft marks versus sharp marks, right? It doesn't have to be just black and white, right? Fluid marks versus choppy marks, right? Here's another version of that. Well, another version, another version, right? Now let's zoom in again. Right? Look at what's happening up in there. There's the focus point. And all this out is here is just like, okay, we're going to set something going around in him. Around that subject, right? Now we'll go back to Beckman, and let's go here with the last Beckman. Beckman as an older man. Right now, look at what's happening in there. Look at all these hash marks. Bam, 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 bam. Building it up, building it up, building it up, building it up, building it up. Building it up, building it up. He just doesn't slam that in there. He builds it up. Right? And then what's happening with the facial features. I love it. I love these drawings. God, don't you see why drawing's so much fun, guys? All right, so there you go. So we just worked through Giacometti and Beckman. And I think that's it. 3 videos. These will be stored. I'll share the file where they'll be in, called Portraiture Drawing, Videos, and Examples of. All right, so you get the slides and the videos. When you get into this, let's have fun with this. I want you to do the best job you can, obviously. And I want to see you, like, have some fun with this. This is meant to be the fun assignment. You get into it, but make your drawing sing for whatever reason. All right, guys? We'll talk to you later, and talk to you Tuesday in Zoom meetings. And if not that, then if you and I need to touch base, let's everybody touch base with me who needs to, okay? All right, guys. Have a great Sunday evening. Bye.